Hey there, my name is Aaron, and I have food. And today is chocolate and pistachio cupcakes. Now before we go into the ingredients, we have to talk about the pistachios themselves. Now at my local supermarket, I couldn't find them already shelled. So this is an opportunity to show how you can deskin them and shell them yourselves at home. Just be aware though that this can be very labor intensive, and if you can find them already shelled, that would be ideal. Shelling them is very simple, it's not as hard as something like a pecan for example. Now I bought a 12-ounce bag of roasted pistachios in the shell, and when they're all shelled, you should get about a cup and a half. Now for the skins. Go ahead and get your small pot of boiling water, and then go ahead and dump in your pistachios, and blanch for about 30 seconds. You can extract them with a slotted spoon so you don't burn yourself. And then take your pistachios and rub them between two paper towels, and the skin should come right off. You can see here the pistachios have a real nice green color, real bright. And then just continue to rub off all the skins. Once all the skins are removed, lay them out on a paper towel lined sheet pan. And go ahead and let them dry for about an hour. We do that because we're going to grind up these pistachios to mix in with our cake mix. Break out your favorite food processor and give them a grind. Careful not to go too far, you don't want to make pistachio peanut butter, although that would be pretty tasty as well. You can see here that the grinds still aren't small enough for me, so I'm going to go a little bit more. And I think this will work just fine, just before that peanut butter level. Now on to the cake ingredients. I'm going to start off with 3/4 cup of cake flour, not regular flour, cake flour. Half a cup of dark brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, I prefer kosher, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Now for the wet ingredients: 2 whole eggs, 1/3 a cup of canola oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Finally, half a cup of whole milk with half of a lemon's juice. This is a substitute for buttermilk. Now we're going to get a bowl, mix in the flour, along with the cocoa powder. Then mix in the salt and leaveners. Whisk to combine. After that's mixed, go ahead and bring in half a cup of your ground pistachios. Mix that right in, it'll just disappear. Now we're going to set up the stand mixer. You can definitely mix this by hand, but the stand mixer just makes things a whole lot easier. Go ahead and put on the paddle attachment. First things that go in the bowl is the 2 eggs at room temperature. And if you accidentally chip off a little piece of the egg into the yolk, like I just did here, scoop it out with the remaining shell. I'm also going to throw in the vanilla. Next comes the sugars. Go ahead and turn on the mixer, cream together the eggs and sugar, mix that up really nice. It should take about a good 3 to 4 minutes. Then what I do is slowly pour in the canola oil, try to get an emulsion going. After the oil's mixed in, start to mix in the flour, salt, and leaveners. And the milk and lemon juice mixture. But we're going to go back and forth, dry first, then liquid. Even now and then you want to stop, get a rubber spatula, make sure any of the dry ingredients gets mixed in as well, because it tends to get caught up on the paddle and on the side of the bowls. And just keep switching off, throwing in dry ingredients, throwing in liquid until everything is combined. This will ensure a good smooth mixture instead of throwing everything in together all at once. Make sure to scrape down the paddle attachment just in case for any more dry ingredients left over. With the batter complete, it's time to get out your favorite cupcake or muffin pan. You know the drill here. Lay in your cupcake liners. And you're going to want to fill them halfway. Halfway is the perfect spot for when the cupcakes rise. Won't be too small, not too big either. Another thing you want to do is clean up any spilled batter in between the liners. You don't want that to burn when you put it in the oven. And one of the liners was a little too full, so I decided to take it out and refill. Now those are your standard size cupcakes, but I also have a liner and a pan for bigger cupcakes. I can only get 2 right here, but I decided to go ahead and use them. Normally you get about 12 cupcakes out of this batter amount. The small normal sizes at least. Remember to once again fill halfway, clean up any spillage. Then you're going to bake the cupcakes for 10 to 12 minutes at 350 degrees, or until you can take a butter knife and pierce the cupcakes and they come out clean. If the knife doesn't come out clean, that means they're undercooked. Same goes for the large ones as well. Then with the cupcakes cooled for about 30 minutes, you're ready to do the icing. Now I'm not really a cake decorator, but I'm able to use a piping bag and some frosting and just make a simple swirl design, which I'm going to show you here. Start on the outside edge and work your way towards the middle. And try to build on top of each layer of frosting, like a wall. By the way, I'm using a simple star tip here. First one came out okay, let's move on to the second one. And go a little bit slower here, build up the frosting. Looks really nice. And remember, when you're piping, it's all about the pressure. The more you squeeze and hold the bag, the more icing will come out, obviously. So let off the pressure right at the end of the piping when you get to the top. You can see here I'm speeding up the footage for the large cupcake. I already tried, if you can tell, but I scooped it out and tried again. That's the good thing about frosting, especially if you make it from scratch. Don't you scoop it off, put it in the bag again, ready to use. Now the next logical step is to sprinkle on some of the remaining ground pistachios. You can put as much as you like. I'm just sprinkling on a little bit here. Give it a nice, good snowing. I really like pistachios. They're not as strong as pecans. Not as salty as peanuts, just the right amount. And with that, the cupcakes are complete. Chocolate and pistachio flavors just mix together wonderfully. And then the taste just goes to divine levels once adding the frosting. Now, if you want to know how to make homemade frosting, tune in next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really enjoyed making the first baking video for the channel. Like and subscribe for more, and I appreciate any comments for future recipes. Thank you.